Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Spring Season Professionals Tournament Grand Finals Day. Today we have RTK versus Eros, and then the winner of that will be going head to head with Raid in the Grand Finals. So these are going to be some really epic matches, and I honestly can't wait. And I hope you guys are excited for this as I am, because, well, woo! We have seen these three duke it out before. And the first time that I streamed it, those were the games that were just absolutely ace. If those had been the final games of the tournament, I would have been so happy because they were so exciting. I was on the edge of my seat and I really couldn't keep my cool on stream either. So yeah, like I said, I'm really hoping that we get something like that. So I'm going to take away the preview and we see the lineup that we have tonight. Easy already having been knocked out and later on disqualified for account sharing, and that means that we have actually first, that is basically in fourth place now, and we have Eros and RTK that will fight together, and then like I said, the winner of that will be going head to head with Raid. So we've seen epic matches from these three teams throughout the tournament. They have been absolutely awesome and very well deserved top 3. And they led the point system by quite a bit. And that just goes to show that, in my opinion, these are really the top 3 of the EU clan, of the EU server as it is right now. So I'm very curious to see what we'll see tonight. It's going to be a best of 7 RTK versus Eros, and then a best of 9 whoever goes up against Raid. So we have quite some matches ahead of us, I think, because I have a feeling that these will not be decided in a 5-0 like the Asia finals did by TNM, who took it home there. So I'm gonna take you out of there in about 4 minutes. We will have a room invite. We are looking now at my garage and notice my pre-Thanos avatar. For once, there are avatars that I actually quite like. And I am a big Marvel nerd. I've already seen Endgame and it is awesome. By all means, go watch it. But first, we have some Endgames for you tonight. And I'm going to be commentating on that. And I hope you will enjoy the stream. So, the matchup that we have tonight. First, like I said, RTK versus Eros. The maps that we're going to have are... We're going to start off with Vineyards. Vineyards is one of my more favorite maps of the game. I liked it more when we had a dusk setting there because the ambience was different and it just... I don't know, I liked it more. And then now that it's broad daylight again there. So we have base A and B closest to their respective spawns. Base C is actually a little bit further into the town than the image actually shows. But this is like the official image released. And it used to be there, but it was moved. And base C is basically a base for the more heavy tanks. Not necessarily super heavies, because if they go there, it will take ages for them to get pretty much anywhere else. And it is a base where, when all the fighting is happening around base A or base B, one of the teams tends to send a quick medium to, so that they can get the cap there and get that point advantage. In the meantime, YouTube is catching up, so I will activate that. That is something that I always have to do manually, and the reason that I'm talking about doing it is so that I don't do it wrong, and that I just go live on YouTube very soon. There's a 5-minute delay on the stream, by the way, which means that no one can see each other's lineup, and by the time that you see the end of the battle, I'm already well into the battle after that. That also means that I generally won't be responding to things that are said in the chat, because that is quite useless, but in between the battles I might try and do that, depending on, of course, what is said. So with that in mind, the second map that we get is... Let me take Vineyards away from you and give you Alpenstadt. Alpenstadt is a very relatively small map, but it's a fun one. It's very different. You have base C, which is generally the heavy base. Base A, that's generally the mad base. And base B, that is the cheeky base in the middle. If you get that, it will be very hard for the enemy to steal it from you. So we've seen quite some fun matches on that today as well. And this is one of the maps where we will be... hang on, one sec, sorry. Where we'll be seeing quite some action, because we have seen really interesting tactics both from Eros and from RTK on this map. And it's a map that we will also be seeing back in the finals. And that's, I think, a goal that was not really good for from Wargaming. Because generally you shouldn't have a map in the finals that lead to the grand finals that is also in the grand finals at the same time, because it is an interesting map. That is probably why they do that. So the third map that we get is... where is it? There we go, Mayan Ruins. Mayan Ruins, there's the room invite. Let me just quickly grab that. Mayan Ruins has mat base at C, cheeky base at base B, and a heavy base at base A. We see a lot of fireworks happening around base A and B, but C is never completely overlooked, so it's interesting to see what they will do there today. It's definitely going to be fun. Like I said, this is one of the matchups that I just love, because these three are all three such good clans. They're going to be epic gameplays, and this is one of the most interesting matches because we've seen really epic matches on this map already. And if after that we still need a tiebreaker, we get to go to Dynasty's Pearl. Dynasty's Pearl, one of my less favorite maps, and that has everything to do with the fact that the map is so small. You have base A in a square, you have base B in the middle of some buildings, and base C in a park. Lines of fire possible into every single one of them, and it's basically a map for super heavies. We often see that people are pushing their super heavies between base A and B, and then sometimes pushing into C when we go for a rush there. So basically, with 3.5 minutes left to go, these are the maps that we're going to be seeing today, at least for this matchup. We have, like I said, other maps for the grand finals, though Alpenstadt and Dynasty's Pearl make an appearance there as well. So I'm curious what we'll see. As you can see, we have quite some spectators. Rip doing the German stream, me doing an English one, and on the other side we have Brian that is doing an English stream as well. We have RTK ready with a complete lineup of 2 IS-7s, 2 AMX 50Bs, 2 140s and a 113 for Vineyards. And I can't wait. I love this matchup. These teams are so strong. It's gonna be so much fun to see this. So we just have to be patient for about 2-3 minutes, and then we get to see the first matchup of this finals that will lead to the grand finals for the winner. All the teams now actually earn money whether they win or lose, but the amount of course differs the higher you get, and of course they all want that title and the perks that come with it. So 2 minutes 14 seconds, and then we are ready to go, and we will see what happens between these two titans. Edel's still changing tanks around a little bit. I'm just making sure that there is no map on the screen, that you can see everything. And they seem to have decided on an E3, a 140, a Batchat, a 113, 2 IS-4s and a 268. And it's going to be fun to see what they do with these lineups, because we have seen the possibility of decapping base A or base B depending on where they start, with some very cheeky movements, and it doesn't always work out, as we saw in Asia earlier today, but sometimes it does, as we also saw in Asia earlier today. Ronka now being moved in, and we have a lineup of an E3, a 140, a Batchat, 1 tank, 2 113s, there we go, an IS-4 and a 268. Little over 1 minute left to go. I wonder if they are as nervous as I am, even though I'm not even playing. I am hyped, and I just really want to see what happens. Also, just to clarify, there are no coins. Wargaming disabled that because of the technical difficulties on the EU and the RU server. 40 seconds, I can't wait. I hate having to be this patient when everyone is ready and we just want to go and we just want to see what happens. 30 seconds left to go. We still see some changes being made, potentially to ammo loadout or equipment or some such. And we now have 2 IS-4s there. 10 seconds. Here we go. Countdown clock has commenced. We are readied up. All the teams are ready. And we are ready for the finals that will lead to the grand finals of the spring season professionals tournament. And it's going to be awesome. And here we go. We see some corpses over there. And let's go. We have Eros focusing primarily on base C. We have Losses AFK going towards base B. And we see all of R2K moving towards base C as well. So that's going to be some head-to-head fighting there. The IS-7s and the Object 140s moving more towards the middle. Potentially to catch some people unawares. The AMXs are moving in. The Batchat is being focused. Ooh, this is a slaughter already. Batchat losing tons of HP, being rammed into even. And the Batchat is almost gone. And there he goes. R2K moving in very aggressively. Losing a ton of HP doing so though. And this is basically full-on brawl straight off. Not sure this is gonna go into the direction that they would want to. Zerd almost dead but still alive. General almost dead but still alive. The 113 now being focused. General is gonna die. He's not. Oh, he is actually still alive. And there goes Romka. And there goes Zerd. And we have Object 3 that is now in trouble. Both teams have lost 2 tanks now, but HP wise Eros has a definite advantage. And we see the 268 taking some massive hits. It is 3 versus 3 now. But it can literally go every which way. The AMXs are reloading. They're on their long reload. And that definitely puts that as a disadvantage. But Whoops is facing trouble from the Object 140. Getting circled. AMX is now almost reloaded. There we go. But Dunchik is losing a lot of HP doing this. And that was a very expensive bounce. And now he's on the long reload. Both of them are. The one Mo finishing off. There we go. And now it's 1v1. Both teams have an equal amount of points, but the E3 has quite a bit more HP. And Edgar is now capping a base. He knows, NG is now capping a base. He knows where Edgar is. And he knows where he's most likely to come. And Edgar can't really afford to get shot. And now Eros has a base advantage. And NG is pulling back in between the buildings. And this was very, very aggressive gameplay by R2K. And it didn't really work out for them. I'm not sure what they're doing now. In his stead, I would be focusing on getting the bases. He can't really do much else. But if he is spotted, they are expecting him to run away. Angie is pre-aiming for where Edgar should be running away to. And I think we have some pre-aim shot here that's gonna happen. He is being very careful though. He has been spotted now. Angie fully ready to make that shot, to take that shot. And what we're gonna see, yeah, like a Rolex at tea time. And I wonder what we're gonna see now. Nice tracking shot. Not sure if it's gonna be. Ooh, tricky. No, you knew that was gonna happen. I don't know why you took the risk. You could have just gone and kept bases, but okay. The first game is for Eros. And I think that R2K expected Eros to be more spread out. So then the rush would have definitely worked. But Eros was packed together and they only had one fast tank in base B. And that's how they caught the rush very well. So we now see Eros ready with 2 140s, 2 IS4s, a 113 and 2 268s. And RTK is ready with an IS-4, 2 Batchats, an E5, two 113s and a 268. So in 1 minute we get to see the second match. And I wonder if this will mean that Eros is going to be closer clustered together, which can work in their favor but also against them. I'm just making sure there's no map on the screen because I would absolutely hate for you to miss this action. 43 seconds left to go. Nicolade unreadying, potentially to change some camo or lineup or whatever. But he is readied up again. And we are good to go. And I really want to know what happens. These are the matches I've been waiting for. "14 seconds, we are almost ready at the countdown clock. And here we go, 7 seconds. Let's go. And let's go up, up and away. We have RTK now focusing on the right side of the map, with 2 IS-4s heading towards the city. They might meet a 113 or 2 113s and an E5. The Batchat heading towards base B. 1 Batchat more into the ruins. And we have 2 140s capping base A. And RTK is pretty much spread out, but so is Eros. Both teams have a base. Tiny point advantage for Eros. 140 has been spotted. So has the Batchat. Shots happening but no damage being done yet. NG taking some damage, retreating there. Karolek wanting some help in the city. See some crossfire happening, but not all that much damage being done. Base C is now being kept by Eros, and that would give them a definite advantage, and then they just need to hold, so the pressure is on RTK to change that now. Eros pulling back towards the city. People keeping each other spotted. Batchat now moving in potentially to steal base A. Not sure if he's going to get away with that. With the 113 at the back there, together with NG. Winch losing some HP there. General moving in. Karolek taking damage. NG. Ooh, General has not been spotted. We see some blind shots going into base A. They don't know where he is, but they are going to make a move to try and see where he is. Romka getting some damage in now. By No Party Without Me. Karolek losing more HP, but the point is going up for Eros and they need to be careful. 268 now moving in. Ooh, Zert taking a big hit there. Blind shot still going into base A. But they managing it and they stole base A. Batchat now been spotted and he retreats undamaged. RTK has stolen the bases, but they still Eros still has a point advantage. And we see Eros now making a move, heading for Winch. Winch basically now in trouble. And we have Romka moving back towards base. There goes Winch. Romka taking base A back again. The Batchat's moving in immediately to capitalize on that. There we go, there goes Romka. Both teams have lost the gun now. But Eros is moving in And it can go every which way. Karolek is now gone, so is Edgar. Zerd in a precarious position. Angie trying to take base B, but he's paying for it. The bad chat's moving in. We are at 900 ports. Zerd is gone. Angie is gone. It is 4 versus 3. This can go every which way still, but RTK has the point advantage. All they need to do is just live. E5 taking massive damage there. But Eros has some low HP targets as well. And there we go. The game is for RTK. And now it is 1-1. Romka wanting to be put out because he finds he is useless. And that is it for the second lineup. Second match of this team up, I should say. So let's ready up. We are moving on to Openstadt. And I like how, where we were just completely going YOLO rush the first game, the second game was way more thought out. And I thought the way that RTK was split up like that Eros would take this one. But that base capture on base A was so important. All the blind shots that did not make it into general there, that basically won RTK the game. He managed to remain unspotted with that. So with Openstadt, we now see RTK with a complete lineup of an IS-4, a Batchat, a Leo 1, two 113s, a 268 and a 215B. And Eros just finished readying up with a 268, a 113, two E50Ms, two IS-4s and another 113. So with 47 seconds left to go, we are ready. We just want to see what happens and where everyone is going. Angie has not readied up. There we go. Now everyone is ready again. And oof! These are some awesome matches. "24 seconds. And I really just want to know what happens next. It's going to be awesome. 10 seconds, here comes the countdown clock. There is no map on the screen. I am readied up. We are ready to go to see this third match of this matchup. And here we go. And let's see what happens. Where do they go? What do they do on this map? Because it is such a fun map, even if it is relatively small. Romka has not been moved out. And we see the Batchat heading to the back together with the Leo. And the rest of RTK heading more into the city towards base C. Batchat ready to get shot by the 268 there. Angie moving quite aggressively, but now holding at the rock. And we might be seeing a blind shot heading to the general camping spot there. Chocolate has been spotted, which means that they know that there will be someone there. We have the 113s moving in. Pretty much all of Eros has now been spotted. And we see the first shots going in. Edgar moving to the back to get base C. And base A is also being capped, but this means that Eros will have a slight point advantage here. RTK pulling back in the town together. But they will not be able to grab base B like this. Not with Whoopsie like that. Carola at the back, ready. Eros spreading out, taking positions where they can support one another. And whoever wants to attempt to get base B has a challenge, let me put it that way. And Eros is basically content to hold, and they are able to just hold. They don't need to make a move. The pressure is on RTK to make a move because they have the point disadvantage. However small, there's only one tank there. One tank worth of points, I should say. Whoopsie, Nicolade and Romka in the middle, overlooking base B, waiting for someone to try and get into it. Nicolade watching the side. We have Karolek doing the same on the other side. the question is, where will the push come? Edgar has been spotted. Some shots being fired. Oof, Winch taking a big hit there. Blind shot where Edgar is, but it doesn't hit him. Zerd having been spotted again. We are 500 points and 2.5 minutes thereabouts into it. And we are at a bit of a stalemate. A push will need to happen. The question is, where will the push come from? Zerd taking a hit there. R2K repositioning themselves. Nicolate getting ready for it. Blind shot going into base A. But there is no one there. Chocolate is ready though with this E50M. The one Mo having been spotted. And we have 4 tanks now banding together. E50M has been spotted. Leah 1 has been spotted, but not the Batchat, not the 268 and not the 215B. We are at 700 points, something has to happen. But Edos is in good positions, they are holding very well. Whoop's taking a different position. And it seems that RTK is pretty indecisive as to what to do. This is basically a stalemate game. But something has to happen somewhere. Edel's now moving in towards the middle. Towards those two 113s. They are going to be in trouble. RTK is all the way in the other corner. The one Mo taking a lot of damage there. Zerd immediately capitalizing, going towards base B. But he will not be able to cap it, and he does lose some more HP for trying to get it. Now, R2K moving into base C. Rumka wanting help, finishing off Edgar. And base A is being stolen. Zerd losing more HP. Romka has lost quite a bit of HP, but Zerd is in big trouble now. Base A still being capped. They kinda have to. They have to make this work. The one Mo is now gone. Edgar is being focused. 268 is now moving in to take care of Whoopsie together with Zerd. There he goes. Chocolate also go. Both teams have lost 2 guns. And we are at 900 points. And Eros is not getting any more points. Because base A is being capped. Base B is being capped. They just need to stay alive. Base B is being left alone now. The 113s and the 268 moving in to take care of Zerd. But if they just survive, then this game will be R2K's. The Batchat moving in. The Batchat has to be careful though, especially with the 268 there. And General is wisely coming off there. Surviving. We are at 950 points, 960. The counter is going up quite fast. Winch still surviving. We are at 990 points. They just need to survive for that little bit longer. And we are at 1k. And the game is for R2K. I thought with the way that they were waiting so long for stuff to happen, that we might not know. That it might definitely have been Eros' game. Because they were playing so patiently. They were in the right positions and all of that. I don't know why they made that push for the 113s. Probably they wanted some actions, but if they had just waited, this might not have been the result. And so now it is 2-1 for R2K. And we get the second match on Alpenstadt. Romka have now been moving out and Vader has been moved in as he was asking quite a bit. And we see Eros changing their lineup quite a bit with a lot of 140s. There we go. We have 2 140s, 2 268s, and by the looks of it, 3 IS4s, sorry. And R2K has readied up with 2 IS7s, 2 E50Ms, 2 113s, and a 268. We might still see some changes there too. But no, they both decide to keep the tank that they had selected, so they probably just had to change some loadout or one of some kind. And now Vader decided to go for a 1-1-3 instead. And with 30 seconds left to go, we are ready. And let's see what happens. "15 seconds, we are ready to go." And this is actually so funny because I'm talking like this and at some point I sort of fall quiet, but there's more to do with that. I'm too excited. I want to know what happens too much to actually make sense. But here we go. 4th game of this matchup. Second match on Openstadt. And let's see what they do here. We have Eros wanting to go to base A. Vader and Karolek moving through the river. Zerd heading towards base B, but the rest of R2K all going towards base A. And they will meet quite some Eros opposition there. The 268s are ready. The Object 140 has been spotted. Winch has been spotted. General immediately pulling back a little bit. One of the 268 has been spotted. Vader taking an immediate hit. Edgar ready to move into the base. But not just yet. The IS-7's heading up behind Vader. The 268 now making a move. This could be absolute slaughter. But they are not stopping. Zerd almost gone already. But it looks like Vader is gonna go first. Zerd just pushing in. But he does die. There goes Vader. No party without me. Bleeding HP as well. There goes NG. And we are entering the bloodbath stage. Where no party without me is now gone as well. Both teams have lost 2 tanks. Lost is AFK, now the preferred target. And now R2K has lost a third tank I should say. Both teams losing HP. HP wise, Eros has a definite advantage. No base has been kept. R2K stuck in a corner. Winch has been taken out. Object 3 is moving in. They want to get those shots in. But the 268 has a nice side shot into the 1-mo there. He's just aiming carefully. Ooh, and it doesn't land. And now the 268 is in trouble. Both of them, to be honest. There goes the 1-mo. It is now 5 versus 2. This is not going to go in R2K's favor. And there he goes. And now there's only General left. And there General goes. And the game is for Eros. And again, YOLO rush by R2K did not work out. And now it is 2-2 and we move on to Mayan Ruins in just over a minute and a half. And R2K almost completely readied up. We see some tanks changing over at Eros as well. And we see both teams not completely ready up yet. We have just over a minute left to go. And we see the AMXs coming out for Mayan Ruins. We've seen some epic action with those. And R2K is now ready with an IS-7, a Batchat, 3 AMX-50Bs, an E4 and a mouse. And Eros is readying up with a 268, 3 140s, no actually no. 1 268, 2 113s, 2 140s, a 215B and an IS-7. And we have just over 30 seconds left to go before we get to see the 5th match of this best of 7. And it is going up quite steadily. "20 seconds left to go. And I just want to know what happens. 15 seconds. Come on, guys. And here we go. And the honor, again, not being a pro. He's always something else, but usually he was a kiddie. And here we go, up and away. Let's see what happens. We see RTK focusing on the city side of things. The Batchet going more towards the middle. And he's going to meet a 215B there and potentially the IS-4. We have Eagles that is focusing primarily on base C side. The Batchet might be in a tricky position for that. We have Zerd that is moving in and gonna go for a cheeky B cap probably. And there we go. And the Batchet is pulling off. And potentially they're all going to cap base A again as well. Object 3 has now been spotted. So has Vader. But RTK did cap base B. We see Whoopsie now making an appearance. And Zerd taking a defensive position to avoid getting shot by people in that spawn. General moving into base A to also cap that. Base C almost being capped. One shot going into Whoopsie. Bounces blind shot into base A there. I don't think they would ever stand in that much of an open area. And General hightailing it out of there before he is spotted. And that's a very wise call. He is staying in the bush though to make sure that no one is trying to get the base from them. Zerd having been spotted. Shots going at General, but neither of them panning. And we see the 140s moving around towards the back. And those AMXs might be in trouble for it if they make that push. At the same time, those AMXs could turn around. Edgar holding at the middle. Basically trolling more than anything else. The 268 is moving in. Probably wanting to get a very juicy General there. General playing it very carefully. Zerd as well. He's holding. He doesn't have much backup, but they don't know that. E4 has been spotted. Object 140. Karolek and Nicolate at the back, moving very, very carefully. The 1-mo taking a bit of damage. Zerd taking damage. Zerd is now being, I wouldn't say rushed, but he's losing quite a bit of HP. He's definitely being focused. And he is bleeding HP. Karolek wants some help. They are rushing in. RTK is making a move. The mouse is losing a ton of HP. Zerd is losing a ton of HP. Batchet moving around. E4 now taking a massive hit there. But NG is being targeted. There he goes. The AMX is moving in. We have Zerd almost gone. Whoopsie's almost gone. We have lost his AFK now being focused by the AMXs and the Batchet. AMX almost dead. He's not going to survive this. No party without me. There he goes. Object 3 almost dead. Vader now moving into base B. Edgar almost dead as well. There goes the 1-mo. And it's everyone's game basically. Anything can happen. But RTK is bleeding guns and now only General is left. And he's not going to be able to make this unless he takes out all the one-shots. He gets tracked, that doesn't help, and this game is for Eagles. And I think they kept those AMXs back way too long. And here we go. I am kind of curious about the delay, because I'm seeing some comments about the delay possibly not being right. So I'm just gonna send Rolling a quick message. I don't think you would make a mistake like that. So with 1 minute left to go, we get to go to the 6th match of this lineup. And we have Edels now readied up with a 268, two 113s, two 140s, a 215B and an IS4. And we have R2K ready with two IS7s, three AMX 50Bs again, and two 140s. And we have 45 seconds left to go before we are all ready. Well, at least before the game is ready, I should say. "30 seconds. And I can't wait. "19. Almost time for the countdown clock. And now the pressure is on because, well, the pressure is on R2K, I should say, because Eros has to win one game to go to the grand finals, and R2K has to win both these games to go to the grand finals. And here we go. The pressure is on. Let's see what happens. And we have the 140s heading towards the base C. They're going to meet two 140s there. And the 113 is moving with them. And the rest of R2K heading more towards the middle. Probably Object 3 going into the base to cheekily cap it, or Zerd doing it again. Base C is now being capped by both objects. They're not going for base B, but the one mode took some damage, and now Edgar did as well. The AMX is crossing over, but they're losing quite some HP doing that. Vader now being targeted. Edel's relatively spread out, but so is R2K. Well, not anymore actually. They're all pulling together. Object 3 taking some damage there. R2K has the base, they can afford to play carefully, but they're not really doing that. The AMXs are moving in together with the 140s. And we are going to enter the brawl stage. Object 3 taking massive damage here. No idea why he's doing this. He's been absolutely deleted already. The AMX is moving in. Chocolate being targeted. Massive damage going on. Vader has been gone, but they are bleeding HP all over. And the AMX is now on the long reload, and that is not looking good. Losses AFK is now gone. So is the 1mo. R2K is focus firing, but they're losing so much HP doing this. The AMXs are almost all gone. Only Doncic is generally healthy. 268 taking a massive shot in Zerd. Angie now gone. It is 4 versus 3, but those 3 have pretty good health. Karolek now being targeted. And at the lack of that, Nicolait is getting a shot in. Karolek taking out Edgar. Doncic reloading. Now it is 3 versus 3. Karolek not having that much HP left. Zerd almost gone. There goes Karolek. It is 2 versus 2. The AMX has reloaded, but Winch has to be careful because he's definitely the preferred target here. Whoopsie taking damage. Oof, Doncic almost gone. And they have to focus fire. That is a very expensive shot to miss. There goes Doncic, and now it is Winch on his own. And he is moving in fast, and he's not going to survive this. Whoops moving in. Nicolait wisely staying back. And there is not much they can do. R2K does have the base. Whoops pulling back, trying to shield off. Ooh. And he missed. Whoopsie trying to protect Nicolait. They want to move in. Winch has to play this very carefully. He could potentially do this, but it can cost him everything. He just has to wait very, very long, or really, really run away. And hope he survives with that. Whoop's now making a move. Nicolate staying with him. And now they are going to go for base C. Winch moving away. Running away. Going up. He wants to get Nicolate. If he does that, he might have this game. He's not even trying. He's just running. Base C is now being capped. And Winch is running off. Don't stay there. You know where Whoops is. You know he wants you. And they're going to play this very carefully. They are capping the base. They will get the point advantage back if Winch doesn't make a move. Whoop staying on top. Nicolate staying down below. Winch now in potential trouble. They have to be so careful with this. They still have a little bit of time, but without a base, they are in definite trouble. Nicolate now moving down below. And I think Winch is waiting for that. But he misses it. And he gets him. And now it is 1-1. And Winch is a one-shot. But he does have the speed. He could do this if he goes for a base. He has to go for a base. And he has to go for base A at that. Winch having been spotted. And I wonder if Whoops is gonna just drop down. Winch has to make a move. He does get a shot in. But he doesn't have the time for this. He needs to get a base. Whoopsie not taking a chance there. Winch, careful. Why don't you go to base A? Get the base. You're unspotted. Your adrenaline is gone. You're now spotted again. But you can go. You can do this. And they might still make it based on points. Whoops will have to make a move. Winch making a... Ooh, no! Very bad call. Very bad call. Moving back now. I want to show you. 53 seconds. Winch has to be very careful. They could make this on points. If Winch manages to stay alive. Ooh, but this is so tricky. Shit. There we go. Oh my god. And it is Eagles that is through to the finals. Oof. And we will have a final of Eros versus Raid. And that happens in about half an hour. And this was so intense. And I think that if he had gone more towards the bridges rather than the other way, he would have lived. And those corpses, Eros used them expertly. Wow, what a matchup. I'm actually a little bit quiet here, as you can tell. Oh my god. So that's definitely gonna be an interesting matchup, Eros versus Raid in the grand finals. And what a lineup that was. So, to take a little bit of a breather, I'm going to show you some replays. And to pass the time, we have about half an hour left before the next match. And we'll just see what goes on then. Let's see what I have. This is actually a game I've been wanting to see, so let's see what goes on there. And this actually happened during ice yesterday. So that was great fun. I wasn't here in this match, that is. But it was cool, and I'm curious to see what will happen, because of course I know the results, but yeah. Ethan going very, very cheeky spotting position. And he's just holding, keeping them spotted where he can. Nice forward. Ooh, nice little bounce there. And there goes Leo. Base B is being capped. That does very little damage. Not sure if that is a good move. Nice little bounce there though again. And Ethan so far has done a grand total of 92 damage. And he's putting back towards their spawn. Nice little peekaboom shot there. Just keeping them spotted. And there goes the 268. He's basically getting a lot of assisted damage with this. That wasn't aimed properly. Aim carefully, Ethan. There you go. And now he's just more or less moving in, which is a very tricky thing to do with the Yege right behind there. That missed him nicely. And he's sort of like using the rock to sort of circle of death the ice 4. Not quite, but just a little bit. He is taking a big hit there though. And now he has to be careful not to get shot by one of those big TDs, because that would hurt a lot. And there we go. Is he seriously ramming a Yege? Why would you do that? But that is the end, and they won. And he didn't do all that much damage, but I'm very curious about the assisted damage. First class. 4k assisted damage, that is quite wicked. So that is a lovely little game. So let's see what else I have for you. Ooh, this should be fun. Nice little match in the cruel twist. Let's see what Thibaut does. And he's going straight for base C. And they are moving straight on. And there we have the first 3 victims, and Thibaut wanting to get to the rock, but he's actually driven into by his teammate. He's turning around now to peekaboo better. Shooting the AMX, even though there's a tank behind them shooting them as well. So they will need to be careful. Comet just got annihilated. Oh, he has a nice rock there. That explains why he didn't get shot. Ooh, fire and a ram. Nice little HE back. Spick luckily ignoring Thibaut, which is probably why he's still alive now. And we are going back to shooting the TD. Now he's getting behind the TD, so that will be the end of him. I don't know why he's not even trying to aim more properly. And he's getting the heck out of there. Or maybe not. One more shot won't hurt. And there we go. Spick now also dead. And he's playing this quite cheekily. I quite like that. That was a bit of a replay derp, with him suddenly being elsewhere. But now he's behind the guy. And one more shot will finish him off. We are 900 points in. The chances of this going into anyone but Thibaut's favor are very slim. Unless there's some magical ammo rack. And there we go. Not even more shot, but 4k damage is pretty epic. $349 supremacy points. Nicely done. Also, I just understood from rolling that Wargaming gave him the told him to make the delay 3 minutes instead of 5. We both don't know why. We've always gone with 5 as streamers because of the fact that the first waiting time in the training room is 5 minutes, and we don't want anyone to see the lineup of the other ones. But that Wargaming doing this has not been communicated, which is my stream has 2 minutes more delay than Rawlings does. But it is what it is, nothing we can do about that. But please avoid posting spoilers in the chat here, because that is just mean for those that are watching this and not the other one. So let's see what else I have for you. Ah, yeah, let's do this. I quite like this tank. It's one of my more favorite tier 6 tanks. And let's see what he does. And he is going towards base A. know there's someone there. There's a lone spick there. No HE being used though. And that rock is a little bit too small to properly hide the Cromwell. Bit too forwards there. There we go, Spick managed to fire. Now trying to find a new target. And Johnny moving in towards base B, which I think is a good go. Ooh, there's still someone there. A Sentinel. This is basically not the best tank to ram people in because she has very little armor and not that much weight. Sentinel almost dead now. And he's not the only one to ram. There we go, base B now being capped. Sue is heading off, leaving Johnny to cap it alone. There we go. Nope, that didn't pen. And now he's almost dead. Ooh, that is a very lucky combo. Tankenstein not turning back, luckily. And Johnny, basically he's being ignored and that is saving his life right now. No, he isn't though. So he has to... Ooh, that missed. This is a very, very lucky Cromwell B. There we go. And now there's only the Tankenstein left. And they should be able to have this. But it can be tricky because the Tankenstein has a big gun. It's a very heavy tank. You don't want to even sneeze on it. There we go. I like that the Tankenstein generally seems to have not much of a clue. Use the corpses, but be very careful. APCR, pre-aimed. Ooh, and that is the end of Johnny. So close though. And that is not very nice. They didn't need to move. They already had the points. And it's still an ace. 625 supremacy points, that ought to do it. First class for the Tankenstein. And we still have about 15 minutes left to go before we get the next matchup. So I'm gonna play you one more replay. And then we will wait for the room. Again, Lucas has the most amazing playstyle. Lucas doesn't really play. Look, he has no premo loaded at all. He rarely uses his consumables. He doesn't use provisions. He only uses the first bit of equipment. And still he manages to do pretty well in the game. And I don't know how he does it because it's frustrating to watch him play, let alone to play like that. Base B is being kept. There's a rock there. Lucas wanted to get a blind shot into someone that is not there. But apparently he thinks that the guy in base B is going to move forwards. And he is waiting for that. I'm not sure that's going to happen though. IS-7 has arrived. They have captured the base though. And they are leaving this IS-7 to his own devices. And there we go. STB has been spotted and is getting shot. He also rarely uses sniper mode, mind you. I know I use it a bit too much, but not at all is something else altogether. He does fix his gunner though. And there we go. That is the end of the STB. And it looks like they're now potentially going into base B to cap it. IS-7 at the back there. The T-62A, the E-50M, the AMX-50B and Lucas all going for him. There goes the T-62A. The waffle has been spotted. The IS-7 is... Aim, 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 aim. This is why you aim. Lucas has been spotted. The waffle is moving in. And he would like a piece of juicy Lucas. And he gets a very juicy piece of Lucas. The grill at the back there as well. Basically, they're now in a very tricky position. And he's aiming. And there goes the E-50M as well. And the grill now. Not really moving in for Lucas per se. But Lucas has relatively poor and little health left. And the grill's not even looking towards him. Which I think is what saved Lucas's life just now, along with the miss by the waffle. And the grill now one shot. And that is a very happy help by the IS-7. Base C is now being captured. It is 3 versus 2. There we go. Again, no sniper mode shot. IS-7 is now wanting to get some juicy bit of Lucas. Lucas pulling back behind the trains to make that harder. And I don't get why they're just not getting base B now. Yeah, okay, the waffle's going to get that. That's good. IS-7 moving in versus another IS-7 that is losing a lot of HP. And now blocking Lucas's shot. There we go, 4.1k damage so far. IS-7's bouncing on each other. There we go, and Lucas pulling back before he can get shot. Base B now being kept. And Lucas is probably gonna get the kill. There we go. 2 kills, 4.6k damage. Nice little game. $1,523 basic XP. Not many supremacy points, a little bit of assisted damage. But yeah, like I said, for a guy that drives around with pretty much nothing of the aids that wargaming gives. He does very, very well. So let's see, what have we got next? 9 minutes, so that we have 5 minutes before the room invite is up. I'm not going to risk it. We are going to go and look at the maps. So we get Raid versus Eros. And the first map that we get to see them on is Alpenstadt. We've already seen Alpenstadt today versus R2K, and early on Asia server as well, of course. So we already know a bit about this map. You have base B in the middle, that is hard to cap because there are so many lines of fire in it. You have base A off to the side and base C off to the other side. And it is all dependent on where you decide to go as a team, which side you decide to back up, basically. So if Eros takes positions like they did in that's second game, first game, I forget. But one of the games that had really good positions. They were spread out around A. They were dominating base B, even if they couldn't cap it. And even if the game didn't work out in the end, the positions that they had were really well. The reason that didn't work out is because they decided to rush 2 of R2K's tanks, and that means that they gave away those positions. Like literally. Because then R2K took them. So after Alpenstadt, we move on to Faust. Faust is one of my favorite maps in the games. It is very much fun. You have all the bridges and the tunnels and all that, and it just makes it a very interesting map because anything can happen. Anything can happen on every map, of course, but this is different, and anything can happen counts more for this because of the fact that you have all those different places in height, and you can get shots into from one side of the map towards the other, and at the same time there are so many little things in the way that can work out very badly as well, and that's one of the reasons why I love this map. And after Faust, we go to Naval Frontier. Naval Frontier looks like this. You have base C, which is generally considered, well, it's actually the spawn closer to the Mets base, but the base closer to the Mets spawn, sorry. I generally tend to focus on the base A and the base B side because I quite enjoy those more, and I think that it's easier to dominate the rest of the map from base A onwards. B not so much because it's down below and you can get stuck there very quickly, but if you're at A you have plenty of ways to basically run away if you have to, or to hold, and you can decap base B from there from certain positions. You just have to be careful of where the enemy campers are. So that is the third map that we're going to get. After that we are moving to Dynasty Sprawl, where we have base A in the square, base B between the buildings, and base C in the park. All bases have a lot of lines of fire into it. Base B would be pretty much the hardest to cap, but also the hardest to steal. And what we generally see is a lot of action around base B, and then mostly between base B and C. So it's going to be fun to see what they do there. We've seen epic matches on this map throughout the whole tournament. So it's going to be cool. And after that, if we get a tiebreaker, we go to Normandy. Normandy is a map we haven't seen all that much just yet. You have the bases closer to the spawn relative base C and base D. Then we have base B in the middle and base A closer to the beach. Base B is on a bit of a height thing, a little bit of a hill, which makes it very hard to cap because it is very easy to decap as well from a lot of sides of the map. Same thing with base A, it is a very tricky base to cap as well because there are camping spots closest to spawns 3 with the bunkers that you see there, and that allows for lines of fire into base A. So that makes those bases tricky. Personally, in random battles I prefer to go base D or C depending on where I spawn, and then just push towards the other one. I like this map. I like that we get this map. I like it mostly because we haven't seen this map around all that much, and that just makes it a lot of fun because the tactics in it are not quite set yet, and people are still experimenting what works best for them. Even though they will have trained this map a lot, it is different when you get a map in a big tournament. So that is why I like seeing this map. I can understand that it's frustrating to play, but I like seeing it. So taking a bit of a sip of a drink there. And we are just waiting for the room invite, which is now popping up. I'm going to take away the map so that we can see the training room. Brian is already present on the other side, along with half a team of Eros. And we are just going to wait. We still have 4.5 minutes left to go, which is plenty of time for everyone. And there we go, raid filing in. Eros now, both teams just miss one player. There we go. And we are also still missing Rip, who will also be streaming these matches. But he should arrive pretty soon. Players being switched out a little bit, changed. Because there are 7 players and 2 reserves in both teams. And we have 3.5 minutes left to go. And we are waiting patiently. There we go. Rip is there as well. So we have a German stream because Raid is a German clan. Not just because of that, Rip generally has been streaming the whole tournament as well. But I mean, it is nice because the German community is quite big. And I like that we have a German streamer for them. Because even though most people can speak English, Germans tend to translate everything into German. You also see this if you were to ever watch a German TV show. They will play English movies, but they are dubbed in German. And I always dislike that because it makes watching it quite horrible. But at the same time, I admire the art of the Germans to turn every English word into a German word. They, like for instance, a lot of words in English just get straight on taken over to Dutch, which I'm from the Netherlands, so I am Dutch. And we don't bother trying to make our own words after that. And Germany does that. And that's something I really like about the German language. Just a little bit of side story, not really important, but fun, for me at least. So I don't watch German TV, but I do like the words that they use. Of course, I can't think of an example right now, but yeah, there it is. And we have Raid now completely readied up with a Batchat, 3 IS4s, an E50M, a 268 and an STB. And Eros is still missing a player, but no doubt they will be there. And for Alpenstadt, this is it's a relative heavy lineup, but there's some mobility in it. And I think we're going to see some action around base B. That would make sense at least. At the same time, these are teams of such a level that calling where they might be going based on their lineup doesn't generally work, because with the lineup that they have, regardless of what it is, they can go everywhere because they are communicating so well. 1.5 minutes left to go. Eros is still missing a player. Oh, there we go. They are 7. And we see where Raid is steadily already ready, rearing to go. Eros is still deciding on some tanks. We've already seen Alpenstadt, which makes this quite tricky. Because if Raid has been watching, and I think they would have seen what they do, and they would have seen the positions that they go to. But generally, all the teams here have multiple tactics for multiple maps. So that would be, again, they can do anything. And we don't know. I don't think we will have seen all the best tactics of all the teams yet. Or at least the favorite tactic. I wouldn't say best, because I think that all tactics are chosen for a reason. So in 20 seconds we get to go, and we get to see in the first match of this grand finals of the professionals tournament, of the spring season tournament seasons. Here we go, the countdown clock, we are all readied up. Eros ready with a 268, a 113, 2 140s, 2 IS4s and an E50M, and here we go. Bia having a very appropriate avatar, the rest of Raid being pro. And here we go. Most of Edel's heading towards base A. Most of Raid as well. The IS-4 staying a bit more in the middle. Toby in the bat chat moving to a spotting position, spotting Karolak as he comes over. Karolak immediately taking some damage. Messi taking a cheeky position there, but he manages to get away with it without losing any HP for it. Nicolate losing a bit of HP. And we have the IS. Ooh, Batchat taking a big hit there. Messi taking some damage as well. He is now in a precarious position with those IS-4s there. Romka and Whoopsie. And they are stealing base A. Even if it is costing them quite a bit of HP. Messi repositioning himself. They took base A. Karolak losing HP. Messi now potentially being rushed. Nicolate now moving in. Messi is basically lost. But Raid does have... has taken quite a bit of HP. But you don't want to lose a gun this early in the game. And he is still making shots. I like this. You have the IS-4s that are pushing in towards the 113s and the 268 at the back. There goes Nicolate. There goes Bia. And now we have a crossfire going on. Messi still alive, but there he goes. There goes Chocolate, but now we have two IS-4s that are stuck in the middle. The 268 is moving in. Pretty much bleeding HP all over. 268 making a massive shot there. Whoopsie being taken. Django now gone. Angie now gone. Drizzle now gone, but so is Karolak. And it's 3 versus 3. With the SCB going after Whoopsie. Ooh, that was an expensive hit not to have. Ooh, that was a combined deletion by Toby and Sick. Whoopsie now almost gone. STB reloading. Going after Whoopsie. There he goes. Now it's only Romka. And where this could have gone very much the other way, it is panning out quite nicely for Raid. Batchat managing to survive with 17 HP. He's not even being deterred. They know they're gonna win this, so he doesn't even bother pulling back. And the first game is for Raid. I really like that Avatar Bia is sporting. It really does fit Raid as well with the logo and everything. So for the second match on Alpenstadt, we see lineups being changed. We now see Raid already ready with a Batchat, an IS-4, a Mouse, an IS-7, a 268, an E3 and a Leo 1. I like that. That's 7 different tanks. We don't see that very often. And on the other side we see Eros in a 140, a 113, a 268, another 268 and 3 IS-4s. So that is a lot of short armor. One of the IS-4s, just Romka, is being moved out. He was complaining about wanting to be switched out before, possibly because of ping issues, I don't know. But now we got Vader in the 140. We see a Raid potentially changing a few things, but they are now readied up. We have just under a minute left to go. And basically now we wait. I know I'm not on the portal. Wargaming decided that the only stream that that should be there right now is the official stream, which unfortunately isn't mine. So it is what it is. And that's just how it is. With half a minute left to go, we are ready for the second match on Alpenstadt, the second of this best of 9. The team that reaches 5 victories first is the one that gets to take the championship home. "15 seconds. And here we go. Let's see. Right now going in the other direction by the looks of it, with Toby heading towards the middle there to spot anyone who is going there. And he will be meeting quite some people. We see some blind shots going in. Not actually penning. And Eros is definitely going to go for base A. And what is... They're pushing the 268 up here. I'm not sure if it's worth it, because it's taking them quite some time to do that. But we have another epic raid push. If they get away with it. If the position works. With Finblue at the back there. Toby retreating. The E3 versus the IS-4 near base B. Shots being taken but no damage being done yet. Toby moving back. Messy. First it was Messy in the grill. Now it is Messy in the 268. And I'm gonna take you close by so that we see a little bit of what he sees. He has some potential epic shots there. He is just waiting for a target. Which Finblue and Toby possibly have to give him. We see some action going on in the middle of the map there. But not much going on just yet. A little bit of HP being lost on both sides. No team has grabbed the base. Base C is uncontested. Base A has not been taken. Base B is impossible to take. So I'm going to take you for a little bit of a wider view so that we see more positions. And we have Drizzle now moving towards the middle. Some blind shots happening again. But basically we have a stalemate match. Nothing is really happening. Raid has about a 300 point HP advantage, but that's pretty much nothing. That's one shot. Still some blind shots going in. No damage actually being done. Vader now moving in. And we see the first damage going into Karolek. Shot being taken at 268. Base A is now being capped. And we see the Batchat now spotting. And I wonder if we're gonna see a 268 shot there. Nope. Not yet. No, there was a shot, but it didn't pen. And here Messi has not been spotted, but now Eros has a point advantage because they have the base advantage. And Toby is moving back. Potentially he's going to go to cap base C. I don't know. No, base C is already being capped by JP. A shot for 8 HP damage is not really all that bad, not well. But Eros does have a point advantage now, and it will be up to them. Up to Raid to make a move. Whoopsie moving in towards base C. JP being spotted in Leo. Batchat holding. Mouse pulling back. Again, we have a bit of a stalemate match. Not much happening all the way around. And we are halfway through the match. Time-wise at least. And I want to know what happens. We have Drizzle that is... We potentially see some action here at base B. But not quite. Base C is being stolen now by Vader. JP moving himself. And this will definitely put the pressure on Raid to make a move. Messi still in his position. The Batchat moving off. And now Drizzle is capping base B. And we see Bia taking a massive hit. Raid is pulling together. We see another shot by Messi, but it doesn't do damage. Bia losing quite a bit of HP there. The 268 taking massive hit there by one of the the IS-7 by one of the 268s. And we have Vader losing HP. We have a firefight going on at base B. With the mouse now in trouble. The Leo moving in. But the Leo has very little HP. Messi at the back waiting for a shot on Vader. But not getting it. Ooh, now he did though. And the mouse is basically ignoring Vader. Steadily moving back, probably hoping to ram him. And there goes Drizzle. And Raid is losing a lot of HP. Eros now has an advantage. We are at 900 points. And now we see tanks dropping. We have... Oof, there goes Finblue, there goes Karolak. And we have the last remaining 4 guys from Eros here at the back. And that is going to be fun for Messi if he gets the shots in here. There we go, massive hit. Base B being capped, but they don't have time for that. They have to move in and they have to move fast. Messi almost reloaded. He has to take the guns out. There we go. It is 4 versus 3. Base C has been capped. But it's base A they have to worry about because we are at 955 points. Angie holding back. They are waiting for the spots. 980. They don't have time for this. There goes Toby. And this game is for Eels. Raid waited too long to get that point advantage back. But what a position for Matzi to be in. Let's see how much damage he did. 3k, but he was relatively useless for a relatively long part of the battle. And that's something that's risky business because that can cost you the game. I'm not sure if it did that here because Raid just moved in too late basically. But yeah, we are now moving into Faust. And we see Raid now readying up with a Batchat, 2 Ice 4s, an E3, a Yege, a 268 and a T22 medium. Eros is still deciding on it. They have a little bit more than a minute to do it. I'm in the meantime going to take a bit of a drink. Because all this talking is thirsty business. And with 1 minute on the clock left, we have 55 seconds and Eros has 3 members that are not yet completely readied up. And we will see what happens. They will ready up in time, not meaning that, but more like what happens in the battle. Like I said, Faust is a very interesting map and it can go every which way. Half a minute left and now Eros is ready with a 268, a 113, a 140, 3 Ice 4s and a 215B. And we just have 20 seconds left to go before we go into the third match of this best of 9 matchup for the Grand Championship of the Professionals Tournament of the Spring Season Tournament Series. And here we got the countdown clock. Angie switching from a 268 to an E3. And here we go. Love this camo. Looks good on pretty much every tank. And let's see where they go. Toby now only starting. And we see most of Raid heading towards the bridges closest. We have JP that is going to go and cap base D by the looks of it. Bia having been spotted. Messi moving up in the Yege. Toby at the back watching over base D. We see some shots going on. Messi in the Yege having been spotted. Big hit into Chocolate there. Very tricky shot. NG taking damage here. And we have Bia moving in. Shooting underneath. That's gonna hurt. Or not, because it shoots the ground. And now NG is almost gone. We have Eros that is pushing in. And Raid now in a bit of trouble. Sick losing a lot of HP. Has 26 HP left exactly. E3 moving in. That bounce though. And there we go. NG is almost gone. There we go. There goes NG. But look at the HP being bled all around. Yege moving in. The focus fire is pretty much leaves much to be desired. The E3 now in trouble. The Yege almost dead. The Yege is not going to survive this. There we go. There goes Messi. With the 140, there goes Whoopsie, there goes Bia, there goes Django. Tanks are disappearing left and right. Sig is almost out of HP. And I wonder if he's going to get a shot in. There goes Sig. He did not get a shot in. The Batchat making a move. I'm not sure why he's not shooting now. Karolek. Drizzle and JP now in a lot of trouble here. Only Toby has pretty much HP left. But that's not gonna last for long if this is how it goes. Chocolate nearly out for the count. But there goes Drizzle. There goes Nicolade and Chocolate. There goes JP. And it is 1 versus 3. With a Batchat. Who could potentially go for the points and get the bases. Which I think would be the wise call to make. We have losses AFK heading towards base B. But basically he's not going to make this, not with the point advantage that Eros already has. Because Eros is now going to go into base D and into base B, which makes sense. But that means Toby is at a definite disadvantage and he is leaving the plan to go to base A. Because there's not much he can do there. Instead he's moving for losses AFK. Seeing if he can get some shots in. No, he is actually running around. He does take a hit though there. And now Eros has all 3 bases and this will be Eros' game. And Eros just pulled back more quickly than Raid anticipated. And it cost him. And now Tobias is going straight on in. Ramming speed, he's more or less giving up. There's not much more he can do here. He is getting some damage in, but there he goes. And the game is for Eros. I think the push by Raid was too aggressive. There was no need to play that aggressively and it cost them way too much. And with the way that they pushed, they lost way too much HP before their team was pulled together and all there. But we now have Raid readied up in 2 113s, 2 IS4s, a Chieftain MK6, a 268 and a T22 medium. And we see Eros now readying up in 2 140s, a 113, 2 113s, a 215B and 2 IS4s. And we have 1 minute left to go before we go into the 4th game of this matchup. $50 seconds left to go before we see the matchup. $44 seconds. I just want to go into the match and see what happens. Should be great fun. And we just wait patiently before we get the match that we are waiting for, the 4th match in this lineup. And it will be fun to see what they do. Nine seconds, we enter the countdown clock. And here we go. Second match on Faust. Let's see what they do. Up and away. We have Raid banding together. Going towards the back there. With JP probably moving in to get base C because you don't want to have them to not take any base. 6 staying in the middle there. Raid having been spotted crossing. 268 taking a position to take some shots. Base D has been taken, base C is being taken. Toby losing HP already. Shots happening everywhere, but not penning. And Raid is pushing in. And again, this is an incomplete rush. I'm not sure why they are doing this. Massive shot going into Whoopsie there. They are trying to shoot Karolak, but it's not really working out for them. But shots are missing on both sides. Toby taking some HP damage there. Big shot going into Vader. JP losing HP. Chieftain MK6 moving in. Base B now has been captured. We have the 140 that's going to go after the 268 and JP. Let's see. Can't really show you everything here. But the two are holding. They have some crossfire going on. Vader is almost gone. Sick is moving in. Angie taking a massive hit there. Sick now a bit in trouble. JP moving in. Vader is gone. JP blocking the shots. Angie almost gone. There goes Angie. Nicely protected by JP here. JP still protecting Sick, but he doesn't make it. Raid has lost 3 guns. And Eros has lost 3 guns. And with this reload, we will see, there it goes. And it is now 4 versus 3. But Finblue has very little HP left. We have Messi that has a 113 to take on. But he kills Finblue first. Now it's 3 versus 3. And that means that Messi has to move in. They have to make this move. They have to take the 113 out here very quickly if they want this to work out. JP moving in. JP now at a bit of a disadvantage. Rizzle still alive somehow. But there he goes. And now it is 2 versus 2. HP wise is not that different. But Eros has a base advantage. And thus they have a point advantage. And we have JP making a move, but that move is anticipated. And I think Loss's AFK might be going to meet him if he goes for base B. But they kind of have to stick together, and now they are very far apart. Eros has a base advantage, point advantage. They have to make a move. Base B now being taken. And JP in a very precarious position because of it. He's not getting shot at. He might get away with it, and that would put the base advantage back in Raid's favor. But they have to be very careful because there's still a big advantage. JP now moving towards base A. Loss's AFK is making a move. Potentially going to base A or base B. We are at 800 points. Chieftain is basically left alone. He has to be careful. Nice shot into Loss's AFK there. JP not making... Ooh, nice little shot into Loss's AFK there as well. Base B now being stolen again. And JP is making a move. Chieftain getting shots into base B here. JP moving. Going in for the kill. But he has to be careful there. He did cap the base. And Loss's AFK is at a low HP, but so is JP. And this can go every which way. Base D now being capped. Very clever move. Let's see if we can see more of what happens. Loss's AFK moving in for JP. But they are both facing a wall, and they are both not really not wanting to take the risk. Messi potentially moving in. We are at 900 points. If Messi manages to take base B, then it is over for Eros for this match. There we go. He's driving into base B. We are at 800 something points. Karolak is on his own. They have no base, they get no points. And that means that the advantage is for Raid. And they just have to survive. What a game this is, guys, honestly. Messi moving in. wanting to take the risk, but there he goes. Karolik is gone. And the game is for Raid. And that was a very, very close game. Massey doing epic damage there. The shots that he got into losses AFK in base B there were absolutely vital. The fact that JP didn't extend, but neither did losses AFK, facing off with the wall between them. That was epic. This was an epic match. And now it is 2-2. And we go on to the third map, Naval Frontier. And I can't wait. We have Raid completely readied up in a Leo 1 to IS-4, a 113 an E50M, the 268 and a T22 medium. Eros is not ready at all yet. They might still be changing tanks or deciding which tactic they want to do, because every team has multiple tactics for multiple maps. And we are just waiting somewhat patiently to see what happens in just under a minute now. Taking another sip of my drink there. 50 seconds left to go. And we now see RG enter the list. And Eros has readied up in an E100, a 268, an E50M, a 140, another 140, and 2 IS-4s. They have 30 seconds to completely ready it up. And let's see, 20 seconds left to go. No real pressure yet, because it's only the one that reaches the 5 victories first is the one that wins. So anything can still happen. And here we go. For the 5th game of this best of 9. So we go up and away. We have Raid not pushing anyone up this time. They're going to go straight towards base A and B, with Toby overlooking base C. Eagles spreading out in a similar fashion. With Messi heading up towards base A. And he might get away with a quick cap there. Plane going by. No, nice blind shot, but no one has been spotted yet. But they did spot Raid, Sick, I mean. And they got the first damage in. Messi capping the base. And that will put the point advantage in Raid's side, however small. Toby no longer overlooking base C there. JP moving away. Both teams have a base now. And we see Raid mainly grouping together. JP overlooking the back there. Lots of movement going on. Nice shot into Karolik there. Blind shot into a place where no one is. The 3 Mets have not been spotted. And they might meet a lonely Karolik there. Well, he's not a Vader, I mean. He's not alone. But they might manage to take him out. And they are now being spotted, or at least the Leo is. The T22 has not been spotted. Neither has the E50M. But they know that Toby is there. We see some blind shots going in. Raid potentially getting ready to make a move. Bit of a standoff going on at the back there. But not much else happening. NG in a funny position here. He probably has been pushed up. Turning around now to overlook base C. Base B now being kept. And that would put point disadvantage and on Raid's side. If they manage to get away with it. Which they seem to be doing, because it's not being contested really. Oh, he actually did cut some tracking damage there. Drizzle moving in. Not a shot going into Karolak. However slight the damage, it is working. Drizzle making a move. Getting some shots in. A being stolen now by Whoops. But he's also being decapped. Karolak losing more HP. Messi moving in with the E50. We have the T22 and the Leo moving in. Messi losing a ton of HP doing that though. From NG. Drizzle being absolutely hammered from all sides. He's not going to survive another reload. JP moving in to finish off Karolak, but he has Chocolate behind him now. Vader being focused. JP now in a precarious position. And we see HP being bled all around. There goes Toby. And now Messi is in trouble. JP is losing a lot of HP. Again, this was too early, a too aggressive, premature push from Raid. JP now gone. Finn Blue in trouble. Raid has lost 3 guns, almost 4. There he goes. And we are at 1k points and the game is for Eros. NG doing the most damage from that position. And now it is 2-3 for Eros. Well, 3-2 for Eros, I should say, but yeah. And we have Raid almost completely readied up already for another match on Naval Frontier. We now see a 113, 3 IS-4s, 2 T-22 mediums and Object 268. And Eros is readying up. And let's see. Dun 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 dun. Just over a minute left to go. Tanks are still being changed, so no definite lineup for Eros just yet. And let's see what happens. 49 seconds left to go before we go into the match, into the 6th match of this best of 9. The pressure is steadily building, even if it's not that high yet. And we have Eros now ready in a 113, a 268, an E50M, a 140, 2 IS-4s and a mouse. "25 seconds left to go. And I just want to see the match, really. Not much else I can talk about here. I think that the matches that Raid has lost has been because they have been pushing prematurely with an incomplete team. And that just hasn't worked out for them. But here we go. Not a nice thunderbolt. It does look so good, that camo though. So let's go up and away and see what they do. We have the 2 T-22 mediums heading towards base A, the IS-4s heading towards the middle, and the 268 and Toby in the 113 heading towards the back. We see a 140 overlooking base B. It looks like they are giving base A away. Spots have been made, the IS-4s are moving in to cap the base. The 268 has been pushed up at the back there by the IS-4 and the mouse. Nicolay losing some HP. Base C is being capped. NG is still getting into position. Big shot going into Karolak there. And base C is still being capped. They are troll capping it, and even HE is not going to keep them from that. NG is still moving up at the back there. And we have the 140 now making a move. Going towards base A. He has been spotted. They know that he's going to go there. I'm not sure if Messi is going to contest it because they don't know where NG is. And they have a point advantage. 3 tanks having been spotted. We see a shot going into Bia there. And now with NG having shot, they should know where the 268 is. Karolek moving back. Chocolate having been spotted, but he is still capping. He does get decapped though. And we have Drizzle going into a position to overlook base B. JP moving onwards. Base A being left to Eros. But Raid has a 130 point advantage. So they just need to play this carefully and to just make sure that base B is not capped. We have Nicolate moving to the back. Whoopsie in the mouse, potentially going to go for base B soon. Angie at the back ready to shoot anyone. And they're pretty much content to hold. Now Whoopsie is making a move. Karolek losing some HP. The mouse deciding not to cap after all. Nicolate losing some HP there. Going to take you for a bit of a wider view. Angie at the back there, not spotted. And Raid is content to just hold. They have the point advantage. They don't need to take a risk here. They don't need to make a move. That is up to Eros. Whoopsie at base B there. Not moving in just yet. He might still do that. But it could be a tricky move with the way that Raid has positioned their team. They can basically build on each other. Drizzle has been spotted. And we see Eros basically holding. Now making a move forward. Whoopsie now making a move for base B again. Messi taking a shot there. He's gonna make Chocolate and Nicolate. And he's holding back just in time, even though he does get shot there. But now Eros has 2 bases. And they are bleeding some HP, trying to basically take out these 2 meds. JP unable to go there. He has to push around, and that might put him into the line of fire from NG. But now the point advantage is steadily being lost. Messi losing too much HP here. Vader just lost a ton of HP at the back there. There goes. Now NG is moving in. He has moved down. Vader is out of the equation. JP is going to be gone. Nicolate has very low HP. We see a massive push going on here. Karolek losing HP. Drizzle almost gone. There goes JP. There goes Drizzle. Bia moving into the base. There goes Karolek. And they will have to play this very carefully. NG moving in, killing off. Ooh, that bounced though. 268 moving in, but the game is already for Eros. We are at 1k points. And Raid, well, actually it was a very nice push by Eros here. People still dying, but the game is over. And now the pressure will be on Raid, because they now have to win every single match to win this grand finals. Whereas Eros just has to win one more game. So it is 2-4 for Eros. And we have 1 minute and a half left to go before we go to Dynasty Sprawl. We've seen epic matches here too. And I'm sure we're gonna see some again. We have Raid readying up in a Mouse, 2 IS-4s, a Yege, 2 113s and a T22 medium. And Eros still deciding on what lineup they're gonna use. And we see a YOLO wagon appearing. And with 1 minute and 2 seconds left to go, Eros is almost completely readied up with a 113, a 263, Some tanks still being changed, so I can't really call them yet. 2 113s now, a 263, 2 IS4s, an Object 140, and potentially a mouse. But it is not a YOLO wagon, so we have a double YOLO wagon here. So 2 IS4s, 2 113s, 2 YOLO wagons, and a 140. That's going to be interesting. We've seen the YOLO wagons do some quite epic work in other tournament matches so far. So they should be fun. And like I said, we are moving to Dynasty Sprawl. And that should be... Well, it's a very small map. So I'm quite surprised we don't see more heavies on Eos' side. But it also might mean that we're gonna go for a full-on rush here. Because they only have to win one more game. And here we go. Let's see what happens. Like I said, the pressure is on Raid. They have to win the rest of the matches if they want to take home the championship. Whereas Eros has to just win one. And we have Toby in the mouse going towards the middle, but the rest of Raid is going towards base C, and all of Eros is going towards base C as well. JP in the T22 medium is probably going to do some spotting here. There he goes. And he miraculously makes it out alive without taking any damage for those spots. Karolek taking a little bit of damage here. Messi moving towards base B with the Yage. Toby moving towards base A. We see shots being fired. A little bit of damage being done. But not all that much. Angie now losing quite a bit of HP though. Yage in position. JP moving at the back. Messi moving into base B. Going for a cheeky cap here. Together with the mouse. Base A also being capped by JP at the back. We have Chocolate turning around, going to deal with that. RG taking damage. Django take a bit of, basically damage being bled a bit all around, but not all that much. Aside from NG and potentially RG, they're still pretty healthy. Drizzle moving back now. He's overexposed a little bit. The mouse taking a different position. The YOLO wagons now pushing in. But they have been expected. But Toby does have to be careful though, because he's losing quite a bit of HP. JP has been spotted, but NG has not. Vader losing HP, but now Eros is quite spread out. And they might get punished for that. Whoopsie taking a hit there. Vader taking it. I'm trying to show you everything at once. Chocolate now moving in. They want to take care of JP together. Ooh, JP just took a massive hit, but so did Whoopsie. Whoopsie's almost gone. The 140 rushing in. JP is being absolutely slaughtered. There he goes. JP is the first one to disappear. And there goes Messi. And I don't get this because Eris has so many one-shots. They just lost 2 tanks. Vader is now in facing off against Sig. They are capping base B. They are going to steal base A. Massive shots going into Karolek. Sig is in trouble. And it's all about who manages to get these hits in. Bia and Drizzle moving in. And they have to take out those one-shots. So many low health targets. There we go. And now it's Vader that is gonna... Ooh. There he goes. But it is 3 versus 4. Base B now being kept. But they are low health targets. They should move in and take them out. It will cost them HP. Bia overexposing himself quite a bit there. There he goes. There goes Whoopsie. It is 3 versus 4 versus 2. Drizzle moving in, shooting Chocolate. And now all we have left is NG. in the 268 and he gets killed. And the game is for Raid. And it could have really gone the other way with the way that the firefight started here. So now it is 3-4. This pressure is still on Raid. They have to win both next games to take the championship home. And we get a second match on Dynasty Sprul. And I think what cost Edos the game here is the fact that they were too spread out. And Raid didn't even really capitalize on that, but it did cost them too much. So we see now that Raid is almost completely ready up in a mouse, 2 IS4s, 2 113s, the Yege, and potentially the T22 medium again. And we see Edos changing their lineups. The YOLO wagons are being left behind in exchange for E3s. Bigger wallops, slower tanks, but quite a lot of armor. And there we go, JP deciding on the T22 medium. And with 1 minute left to go, we see... Are we going to see 3 E3s, 3 IS4s, and a 140. NG now changing tank, potentially taking something else. So does RG. NG going in an E100 instead. We have 45 seconds left to go. We are just ready to go. And we see now an E100, a 113, 2 IS4s, a 140, and 2 E3s on Eros' side. So it will be interesting to see what they do with this, because those E3s are quite, well, very strong. They do very amazing things, these games. And we are ready with 17 seconds left to go. Nicolade. Ooh, tanks unchanging with 10 seconds left to go. But they are readying up, they're just switching around. So we keep the same lineup but different players. And here we go. Again, pressure still on Raid. They have to win the next 2 games to take the championship home. And Edos just has to win 1 to take it home. So let's see what happens. Up, up and away. Messi being granted first passage. Toby holding at the back. Edos now mainly moving towards the middle side of the map, where they're gonna meet Messi. And pretty much no one from Edos is at base C. Base A is being capped. And I think we're gonna see a cheeky push here. Messi taking a first hit. Chocolate taking some damage. Base C now being grabbed as well. But that means that Edos will have a point advantage. And it will be up to Raid to remedy that. And they're not gonna be able to allow easy hits. They're not gonna allow... Ooh, Toby taking some damage there. He's in a tricky position now. Chocolate going to the back. Karolak facing off against their spawn. He is waiting for Drizzle here. Drizzle in a holding position. Chocolate at the back. And he's not trusting it, and that's a very good call because Chocolate is there. But Vader and Whoopsie are moving in. And we see Raid pulling together. Readying for a push on Eros' strongest side. And we see the mouse at the back and Messi both holding. They are waiting for someone to be spotted. Toby losing a bit more HP. Jungle and Bia now moving around, changing positions. Drizzle and the E3 spotting each other. Chocolate holding at the back. And Edos has a slight point advantage, so the push will have to come from Raid. Nice bounce on JP there by the E3. Drizzle not risking it. Again, good call because look at the tanks that are behind there. But Raid will have to make a move. Drizzle now taking some damage. Raid pulling back together. JP behind there. And we see Eels now making a move. Drizzle being rushed. JP taking damage. E3 taking damage. Drizzle taking damage. And it will take Raid too long to get here. Drizzle is not going to survive this. JP is running away. Drizzle is being left to die, basically. Shots being taken. Angie going off against Toby at the back. Chocolate losing a ton of HP there. But there goes Drizzle, and now Raid is short a gun. And they've lost quite a bit of HP. There's a 2k HP advantage. Toby now in trouble. Messi moving in to help him with the E100. But that leaves too few tanks here. JP running off, being chased. Karolik taking some damage. Django taking damage. And JP in a lot of trouble, but he manages to survive. Jaeger pushing in. Sick just lost a ton of HP. This is not looking good for Raid at all. And it looks like we see tanks vanishing left and right now. The E100 is gone, but it will take the Jaeger and the mouse so long to get back. Sick is still alive, but don't ask how. Whoopsie losing HP. There goes Sick. It is 5 versus 4. JP in a tricky position. Bia basically being lost now. But they are capping base A. They have base C. If they survive, they might have this. Big hit going into Nicolate there by Messi in the middle. There goes Bia. They have the 2 bases now. But it is 5 versus... Ooh, tracking shot. It is 5 versus 3. Big hit going into Nicolate there. But I don't think they're gonna allow him to die. Lost his AFK, all set on fire. Nicolate pulling back. JP might be able to finish him off. Base C is being captured. Whoopsie almost dead. There goes Whoopsie. Raid might still pull this to get to them. But JP is now gone, and now it is 4 versus 2. And they will have to play this both wisely and aggressively if they want to pull this off. Because Eros still has the point advantage. Toby is almost dead. And there he goes, and the game is for Eros. It is safe to say. And that means Eros are the new EU champions. Messi still alive, taking a lot of hits though. He's not going to survive. There he goes. He actually faces the wall to let them kill him off. And that means that Eros has the championship. So these were some very epic games. Eros managed to take it home. And they are the new EU champions. So that is it for tonight. I will be back later on to stream the NA server for the same matches but then different clans. And that will happen in about 5 hours. So I hope to see you guys then. Thank you for the epic matches that I got to commentate on. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you guys tonight. Good night.